Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a wig review for this budget-friendly human hair wig from Uniwigs, probably one of my favorite budget brands. And this is Eisley. She is a gorgeous blonde. If you're eyeing this one, want to know more about it, make sure to stay tuned. And as always, please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, give me a thumbs up, and let's get started with Eisley. Eisley is not a wig that I am keeping, although I have kept Uniwigs Remy Human Hair wigs before, and I have air dried them, and I have tested them, and I have worn them. As you can see, I have not cut the lace on this one. So I do know the quality of Uniwigs quite well, but this isn't one that I'm actually keeping, and therefore I haven't really styled it. I definitely haven't given it a haircut or done any of the things that I normally do when I get wigs. This is a gorgeous wig for a great price, but I want to start off by saying that generally speaking, when you get a budget-friendly human hair wig, you're going to want to make some customizations, and those customizations are not extremely expensive customizations as long as you like the color and the cap fits well. Eisley clearly needs a haircut, and this is a lot of times what I see when we get budget-friendly wigs that are not customized specifically for you. And when I say customized, what I mean by that is luxury human hair brands that cost triple what this wig costs. They oftentimes will cut the wigs with layers, make sure everything's even. They'll bleach the knots, they'll pluck the hairlines, they'll do all that extra stuff, but you're paying a heavy price for it. Now with this wig, to me, it really needs a haircut, and I can't speak for all the Eisleys. I've seen quite a few reviews on Eisley, and this is the way this wig came to me out of the box. And I can say the hair feels incredible, but this is going to need a haircut. If you look at it, it's very uneven. It measures, according to Uniwigs, 14 inches, but the longest pieces are definitely much longer than 14 inches. The shorter layers are closer. This is about 14 inches. This is 16 inches. Again, this is a very normal thing when you get budget-friendly pieces. They don't put the extra customization in because you're getting a lower price. You can take your wig to any hairstylist and get it cut. If this wig belonged to me, I would even out the bottom and I would get some layering, some face framers, some layers throughout. That doesn't mean she's not 100% worth the price, because she absolutely is. I think this color is stunning. It definitely has some dimension. It is described by Uniwigs as a sandy blonde highlights, and color is 527R. Now with those sandy blonde highlights, and we'll also look at it outside, it definitely gives you some pretty dimension, and it gives you a light blondish blonde. There's some pieces that are a little blonder, and then the base is kind of a very light brown. It is a very pretty color that'll look good on a lot of people. This wig is Remy Human Hair, cutically aligned, and as I said, I have air dried Uniwigs hair before. I air dried Georgia, which was the last video I did for them, and she air dried beautifully. When you see how a product air dries, you can really see the quality of the hair. On top of that, this cap fits me so amazingly well. Now, I got a Uniwigs small/medium in their old caps in 2024 before they upgraded to the Pure Fit grip cap, and it was too big. It did definitely go down on the ears, and it wasn't nearly as comfortable. Uniwigs is always trying to improve their product, which is what I really love about them. In 2025, they came out with the Pure Grip Cap, and I'm gonna go over some more of those details when I take the cap off. But what I can tell you is, this cap fits me like a dream. This is a cap I could easily wear for a long period of time. I am a 21.5 circumference, and I'm 12 inches ear to ear over the top. And what generally I struggle with, and if you've watched me for a while, you know this, what I generally struggle with is that the cloth behind the ear tabs coming down too far. And as you can see, it's not doing that, and that makes it so much more comfortable for me. Really great fit on this wig, and I am absolutely loving the Pure Fit grip cap, which they have now upgraded to the 2.0, giving you a cooling cotton to make it even cooler and easier to wear even in hot weather. They're just always trying to improve what they do, which is what I really love about this brand. If you've watched a lot of my reviews, if you've watched my content, you know that I'm always going to give it to you 100% straight. Uniwigs is okay with that. I'm allowed to say it needs a haircut. You know, they want me to be transparent. And a haircut by a stylist is, you know, depending on who you go to and where you live, $60 to $100, totally worth it. Now, this is the wig I got. I've seen some other reviews of Eisley where she came with a nice wave and, you know, she didn't look quite as uneven at the bottom. It just depends on what wig you get, you know, but these wigs have not been professionally cut. So almost every wig I get, I need it cut, just the way it is. Now let's talk about the hairline and the knots. The lace looks very transparent on this, but it's not cut, so I can't say 100% if it's gonna blend. I have had some issues with some of their older wigs with the lace not matching my skin tone. I've talked with them. They're diligently working on improving that transparency on the lace. And this one looks quite a bit better, but without cutting it, I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it's blending. Now, as we go into the hairline, again, I've said this before on budget pieces, the knots are not going to be bleached and the hairline is not plucked. Now, what that does is if you wear the hair down, not off the face, I mean, nobody can tell much of anything on this hairline unless they're going super close to you. But if you are a stickler for hairlines like I am, I would probably get this plucked and I would maybe get the knots bleached. However, they're very, very tiny. And so what I will say is this, when you bleach your knots, it affects the longevity of the wig. So your goal is to find super tiny knots. And even though you may think people can see this, they cannot see those tiny knots unless they're coming up to kiss you. And anyone who's going to kiss you should know you're wearing a wig, right? Am I right or am I right? All right, so I'm going to talk more about this cap. This is the Pure Fit Grip Cap 1.0, and the only difference between the 1.0 and the 2.0 is the cotton. So the cotton they're now using is cooling. It's a cooling cotton just to make it, even in hot weather, you know, not too hot on your head. These caps are really unbelievable. Not only are they comfortable, but I mean, this is a budget cap. Look at all the detail. So you have ear tabs with these combs, which I always take out. Those bug the crap out of me. I don't know who likes those. There is another comb right up here for security and beautiful velvet. Then you have that cotton with silicone. So if you don't have hair, it's going to help grip, but if you do have hair, it doesn't bother you at all either. You have that full mono top, so you can part it anywhere you want, and that full lace front going all the way into the ear tabs for a glueless fit. You have your extended nape with your bra strap adjusters, and this is what I love. This extra adjuster up here can really help with your ear to ear or the top, or if there's any bulkiness in the back, you can I've never seen this except for Uniwigs' new cap. You can make that tighter to help if it's poofy or it's a little big back here. I have never seen that before. So incredibly innovative and always trying to expand and improve every day. This is an extremely comfortable, high quality cap for an incredibly great budget price. Let's look at this color. I always use natural lighting. This is the sandy blonde highlighted. You see there's some highlights. And even though it's not technically rooted, because of the highlights, it kind of gives the appearance of a little bit of a root. This is that beautiful color standing in front of my slider where I really get the best natural light. Really pretty color. Here it is outside. See that beautiful dimension? This is described as 130 density, and it's interesting, Georgia was 110 density, and I don't feel like this is any more hair than Georgia. So I'm not I'm not sure about that. I feel like it's pretty low density. However, I will say that I do think this wig is possibly single drawn, meaning the top is a little denser and then the ends are thinner. Now, with a short style like this, it's really not an issue. And Uniwigs has been talking to me about how they're working on making their ends thicker. And single drawn, double drawn is a very, very complicated topic that I'm not going to get into here. But I will say it's a little bit dense on top, but you can easily blow dry it down and use some heat, just a little dense on top for my personal preference. But it is very low density throughout the rest of the wig, and I don't really notice a difference between this and Georgia, except for the top. The top was less dense with Georgia, but the bottom was about the same, which is a very natural low density. I work regularly with Uniwigs on a monthly basis because I really believe in their brand, and I really believe in providing the best possible quality for an affordable price. I also am in love with their constant innovation and their constant education and always wanting to continue to improve. And that's what I think makes them one of my top budget brands on the market. I hope you enjoyed this review of the beautiful Eisley. And as always, hit that bell, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you at the next one.